I am Monsignor Landry, National Director of the Medieval Mission Societies, coming to you from a Manhattan rooftop on October 22nd, the feast of St. John Paul II. In today's gospel, we have an image that Jesus gives us, which almost is a description of St. John Paul II later, but it's supposed to be a description of every one of his disciples. Jesus talks to us about vigilance, and he says, if we were aware that a thief were coming, we would never let our house be broken into. We'd be ready for him. In the same way, he wants us positively to be ready for Jesus himself, however he comes. He says, if he finds us ready when he comes to us in prayer, when he comes to us in the sacraments, when he comes to us in the word, in his word, when he comes to us in the distressing disguise of somebody who is poor, when he comes to us in the person of his vicar on earth, the Holy Father, we need to heed that. And he says, if he finds us ready, we will be truly a prudent and faithful steward whom will put in charge of his entire kingdom. There's no limit to the trust he will give us, to our share in his own mission when he finds us that way. But he contrasts the faithful and prudent steward with someone who is unfaithful and stupid. Somebody who said, my master's long delayed, I can do whatever I want. I can eat, drink, and be merry today because who cares? I can abuse others. I can beat those. I can commit all types of injustices, and then eventually I'll be able to clean it up later. He says that person will receive a severe beating. Much, he finishes this parable, will be expected of those entrusted with much, and we would expect him to say, and little will be expected of those entrusted with little, but he says, even more will be demanded of the one who has been given more. Here in the United States of America, brothers and sisters, we have been entrusted with so many material blessings. Much more is expected of us. And one of the expectations that the church has for Americans is for our sharing some of the blessings God has given us with those who are much less fortunate. World Mission Sunday was this last Sunday, 3 days ago. And we know that 40% of all the church's generosity for those in the 1,124 missionary territories across the globe comes from the United States. We've been so blessed, but more is to be expected. And more is to be expected not just by those who serve us in public office in our country, but also by God and by our brothers and sisters all across the globe. Somebody who loved the United States was St. John Paul II. He came here on several visits. He really praised us for our virtues. He looked at us as a real people of hope and of charitable generosity, and he wanted to unleash the full gifts that God has given us for the good of the church and the world. He called himself a pilgrim pope of evangelization. He saw himself as a missionary, 129 foreign trips to 104 different countries, traversing 3 times the distance between the earth and the moon round trip. And he was trying to bring Jesus Christ, our hope, to everybody. Today we ask for his intercession that we might become faithful and prudent stewards, using what God has entrusted to us for the building up of his kingdom and the proclamation of his glory. God bless you.